I was inside of that person feeling the burning. And I thought, this is what hell feels like. This is what people, when they talk about the burning and the fire, I'm telling you, to these people who are in that space of regret and guilt and shame. Hey everyone, it's Yandia here. And I just wanted to come on today to leave this message for those of you who were asking me about hell. A lot of people seem to be concerned about what would happen on the other side and if hell is a real thing. So in this video, I'm just going to share with you what I know about hell from my experience in 2017, where I was taken out of my body and brought to a place which is what I believe most people call hell. It was in the winter of 2017. I went to bed, and at some point in the night, my spirit came out of my body. I didn't do this on my own. I was actually escorted out of my body, and I was told that I was going to experience what dying was like, what it was like for someone to die. I had no fear at all, and the person who was with me, I never saw their face, but I could feel their power and their guidance, and I knew that it was somebody that I could trust. So I didn't have any fear to go with this person, but they escorted me through out of the earth realm and into another realm. I saw nothing in this realm except just darkness, and we were moving extremely fast out of this realm into and through this other realm. It felt like we were just going out of everything, is the best way I could explain. Just felt like we're just going super fast, and all of a sudden I just hit what felt like a wall. All this time I had never seen any wall, but all of a sudden I was going like really fast, and then I just hit this wall. It was an invisible wall, and what happened was that my head, my hands, it's like every part of my body went through the wall except my heart part, this part of me right here. And so I didn't have a physical body in this experience. I had my light body, and so all of me went through except this part, my heart part. So I actually heard a sound like cling, like almost like metal hitting glass is what it kind of sounded like there was a sound to it. And when my chest hit that wall, it kind of was almost like whiplash, like I came back onto this side. So my head and my hands, everything else went through the wall, and then this part of me got stuck, like I couldn't pass through. So what ended up happening is I kind of looked down at myself, and this person was with me the whole time. I looked down at myself, and I looked down and I looked into my chest area. I looked into where my heart would be, and there was something there, and it was very easy for me to be able to determine what that was, because as soon as I just had that thought, like, what is that? Immediately it came up into my mind what it was. And what was in my heart at the time was an experience that I had with someone who is now my ex, but I had an experience with him, and I had judged myself as being a liar because I wasn't honest about something that had happened, although I didn't have to lie about the situation because I wasn't in the wrong, but I chose to lie about it. And because of that, I had judged myself, and it was really bothering me. And so that judgment was there, and it was stopping me from going through to the rest of this journey. And so all of a sudden now I was in this feeling of this judgment, and the being who was with me took my consciousness and put my consciousness into somebody else's consciousness who was there. Now all this time I had no idea that anyone else was around me. I did not perceive that anybody else was there. It was just me and this person up until that moment when my consciousness went into this other person. I became aware of all these other people who were in this place, and they were in what I would call it looked like they were in their own like bubbles, not bubbles made of, like soapy water, but their own, almost like auras, right? They were all in their own, domes, sort of a thing, and they're inside of there, and I knew that they were totally unaware of me. I knew that they were also unaware of each other. But I was being shown this because I was supposed to understand what someone would experience when they die. And so I was now inside of this person's consciousness, and I was seeing their entire life. I was feeling everything that they were going through. And I remember that while I was inside of this person, I was, to me, I was saying, that's okay. You can forgive yourself. You can forgive yourself for these things. And all how I tried to, like communicate with them, they were just not hearing me. Nothing I could say, it's like I was their conscience and they were not listening to me. They were not hearing me. And I stayed for a very long time with this person, trying to help them to forgive themselves, telling them how much God loves them and all of this. And it's like it was going nowhere. And so finally, when I realized that there was nothing I can do to convince this person that they should forgive themselves, to move on, and to know that God loves them and that there's forgiveness for them, they just were not having it. They were just bent on the truth of whatever it is that they had done, which was something bad, but there's still forgiveness, right? And they just weren't having it. So at that time, when I realized, wow, there really is nothing I can do, this person is refusing to receive the love of God and refusing to forgive themselves. So then at that point, I was brought out of that person and back into myself. Once I came back into myself, I was aware again of my own judgment against myself. And because I had experienced being inside of that other person, I knew that I could forgive myself. I knew that everything I was saying to that person, I could say to myself, and that it was true. And so I remember I was inside of that person feeling the burning. And I thought, this is what hell feels like. This is what people, when they talk about the burning and the fire, I'm telling you, to these people who are in that space of regret and guilt and shame, when they're in that realm and their conscience is just like beating them up, right? They're beating themselves up with all of that guilt and shame and unforgiveness towards themselves. It feels worse than fire. There is no flames that you could feel now that could compare to the pain, torment, and torture that you feel when you're in hell. But this hell is not a physical hell. It is the hell of your own condemnation towards yourself. It is you knowing that what you did was wrong and not being able to get over it, not having the love of God within your own self, for yourself, to forgive yourself and to be able to move on past that point. So now I knew all of this, and I was back inside of my own self, in my own consciousness. And I remember looking at the situation again, and my feeling was, I know what I did was wrong, and by no means is it that you're to say to yourself, what I did means nothing or that it's good. No, it is wrong. But the feeling I had within myself was, I know that there is a love that is greater than my condemnation towards myself. The love of God towards me is greater than my condemnation towards myself. And as soon as I just like it felt like I just like received that knowing and allowed that knowing to be what I was gonna lean into, I just surrendered to it. As soon as I did that, it's like that little thing that was inside of me that felt like a little metal ball, that thing that was inside of me, it just like turned to light, and then it got bigger and it just took over my whole body. And then I went through that wall. And then when I went through the wall, I came right back into my body. And while I was coming back into my body, I was getting that message that this is what you are to share: love, forgiveness, the love of God, right? And so that was since 2017, and I've been sharing that message. I've made other videos on that experience, how to escape hell, or how to save yourself, or the invisible wall. I've called it different things throughout the time to try to get the message out to as many people as possible. But having this near-death experience recently was very different, because it wasn't your regular, out-of-body spiritual experience. I was actually dying. In the recent near-death experience that I had in January, I lost over 40% of my blood and I was bleeding out. So I was experiencing, in this last experience that I had in January, I was actually experiencing my own death. For real, right? And still the message that I came back with is still love. Love, 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 love. I can't stress it enough. So, save yourself. Save yourself. No one can save you. It doesn't matter how much God loves you. If you refuse to accept and receive that love inside of your own heart, you're going to block it. So it's up to you to know that love trumps everything. Love trumps every pain, every hurt, your guilt, your shame, the wrong. Love trumps unforgiveness. So you have to come to the place within yourself where you say, I want to receive that love. And whatever it takes for me to be able to be filled with that love of God, I want it. Because that is the only thing that saves all of us. We are all saved by the love of God, but it takes you. You have to use your own will to free you from that condemnation, from the guilt and the shame. We will all pass through this life to the next. We will all pass through the darkness. And what will bring us through to the other side is love. So if you don't have love for yourself, at least receive the love of God. Because Most High, your Creator, the maker of your spirit, loves you. Start there and allow it to grow and to fill you and to take over. I hope that this has helped you. I hope that this has reached deep into your spirit. If it doesn't sit well with you, I'm telling you, go lay down, meditate on it, pray on it, do whatever it is that you do. And may the peace of Most High rest upon you and dwell with you and give you the understanding that you need, so that when your time comes, you can go through that wall and not be held up in the place of torment and torture that only exists for those who do not have the love of God within their souls. Have yourselves a great day. I hope that this answered your questions about hell and what happens there. If you want me to go into any more detail about this experience or any others that I've mentioned, please let me know in the comments below, and I would love to do another video to help you grow and understand in any way possible. So thanks again for watching. Like and subscribe. It helps me to keep going, helps the channel to keep growing. The more people that we could get these messages of love out to, the better it is for all of us. So thanks again for watching. Remember, it is my joy to help you manifest your dream life and higher self. Bye-bye. Check out this video for my near-death experience.